Indigenous Children's Storytime. Books read by Talisa Hartley in dedication to my sons. Teach them love, and they will love. How do you empower other people with positive energy? Make a list of all the ways you empower others with your positive energy. Baby Nazee, baby Nazee. Where's that baby Nazee? All story times are dedicated to my 4 amazing sons. Unjustly, unlawfully, legally kidnapped by child trafficking CPS. Nazee, misidentified as Jaxon. Omni, misidentified as Joshua. Maji, misidentified as Theodore. And Adriel. Mommy loves you all more, so much more than words can express. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can be alerted whenever we have a new story time. Book coming really soon, and ebooks are available now. With my new and improved children's book cover and new title. New title, Little Nazee the Great goes for a walk with Mommy to the various local valley libraries. The autochthonous, indigenous baby that didn't know how great he is. I had to change my title because nobody knew that my book is about all of the wonderful and spectacular adventures Nazee and I had going to the library and then while we were at the library. No one knew that my book was about the library at all. Written and illustrated by Talisa Hartley. Ebooks will be ready just in time for early holiday gifting and long holiday travels. Look in the description to order your ebook today. As I was a former foster child, all foster children will get my ebook for free. Yay! Ignite the imagination, the creativity, and the reader within the little great in your life. Order your ebook today. Books bought equal children taught and babies saved. Now to our story. Peaceful greetings and welcome back to Indigenous Children's Storytime. We are back with another great book. Today we are going to be reading The Golden Flower, a Taino myth from Puerto Rico. And I think Nieve Tigre would like to join us for the story. So hold on one second. Long ago, the island of Puerto Rico was called Boricue. This was the name given to it by the first people who lived there, the Tainos. From time to time, the families in a Taino village would stop their work and gather together for a celebration called an arito. All through the night, they would dance and sing. Then young and old would gather together in a great circle to listen to stories of magic and wonder. Yeah, wow. magic and wonder. Of Taino heroes and of how things came to be. As you read this book, imagine. Do you have a good imagination? I have an amazing imagination. As you read this book, imagine that you too are sitting in this magic circle on a warm tropical night. The wind is blowing through the palm trees. The stars twinkle in the sky, and the storyteller begins. And the storyteller begins to weave an ancient myth, a Taino tale from long ago. In the beginning of the world, there was no water anywhere on earth. Wow! There was only a tall mountain that stood alone on a wide desert plain. There were no green plants. There were no flowers. All the people lived on top of this mountain. One day, a child went walking on the dry land below the mountain. As he bent down over the ground looking for food, something floated by on the wind. He reached out and caught it in his hand. It was a seed, a small brown seed. He put the seed into his pouch. The next day, he went walking, and again, something as it floated by on the wind. It was another seed. The next day, he went walking, and again found something as it floated by on the wind. It was another seed. Day by day, he gathered these seeds until his pouch was full. It could not hold any more. And the child said to himself, I will plant these seeds at the top of our mountain. He planted the seeds and waited. One morning, a tiny green leaf appeared. The child watched. From under the ground, a forest began to grow high on top of the mountain. All the people came to see. It was a forest of many colored flowers, a magic garden of green leaves, thick branches. The child was happy. Look at all the purple flowers all over the ground. They're all over the trees as well. In the middle of the forest, at the foot of the tallest tree, there grew a vine that wrapped itself around the tree. And from that vine there grew a flower more beautiful than all the rest, a bright flower with golden petals. In the middle of the forest, at the foot of the tallest tree, there grew a vine that wrapped itself around the tree. And the And from that vine there grew a flower more beautiful than all the rest. A bright flower with golden petals. It looked like a little ball. "Look," cried the child, "something is growing out of the flower." As the people gathered around to watch, the ball grew larger and larger until it became a great yellow globe that shone like the sun. Even as they walked on the dry land far below, people could see it shining on top of the mountain. From that flower, something new appeared in the forest. It looked like a little ball. "Look," cried the child, "something is growing out of the flower." As the people gathered around to watch, the ball grew larger and larger until it became a great yellow globe and shone like the sun. Even as they walked on the dry land far below, people could see it shining on top of the mountain. One woman said, "If you put your ear next to the ball, you can hear strange noises coming from inside." The people listened. Strange sounds of murmuring could be heard, but no one knew what was hidden inside. People were afraid. After that, they all stayed away. Even the child stayed away. One day, a man walking on the desert plain saw the golden ball. He said, "If that shining ball were mine, I would have the power of the sun. I could light up the sky or make darkness fall." And he ran toward it, climbed up the rocky mountainside. On the other side of the mountain, another man saw the shining globe, and he also said, "I want that thing for myself. It would give me great powers." He too began to run. Each one climbed quickly. Each one found a footpath that led to the tree. They both ran without stopping until they reached the shining globe at the same time. But what they found was not really a ball. It was the fruit of the golden flower, a calabaza, a pumpkin. The two men began to fight and argue. "It's mine," said one. "No, it's mine," said the other. Each man grabbed the pumpkin. They pushed and pulled. They pulled and tugged until finally the vine broke. The pumpkin began to roll down the mountain faster and faster until it crashed into a sharp rock and burst apart. It burst apart. What do you think happened next? Wow! Whoosh! Waves of water poured out of the pumpkin. The water bubbled and foamed. The waves began to cover the earth, flooding the desert plain, rising higher and higher. For it was the sea that had been hidden inside the pumpkin. Out came the creatures, whales, dolphins, crabs, and sunfish. All the people ran to the top of the mountain to hide in the forest of green leaves. Will the whole earth be covered, they cried. Higher and higher the waters kept rising up the sides of the mountain. But when the water reached the edge of the magic forest the little boy had planted, it stopped. Wow, that's amazing. The people peeked out from behind the leaves, and what did they see? Small streams running through the trees, a beach of golden sand, and the wide open ocean sparkling all around them. Now people could drink from the cool streams and splash in the rippling waves. Now they could gather fish from the flowing tides and plant their crops. The child laughed and sung as the sun shone down and breeze blew through the green leaves and rustled the many-colored flowers. Water had come to the earth. And that is how the Tainos say, between the sun and the sparkling blue sea, their island home, Boricuan, came to be. Boricuan came to be. And now the afterword. I first encountered this magical tale of the Taino people in a Spanish text by Cameron Dollars. I began to retell it in schools and libraries. In 1993, Lillian Ayana, a teacher in New York City, told me that she remembered hearing her mother tell this same story at family gatherings when she was a child in Puerto Rico. In my research, I learned that stories in which the sea was hidden inside a pumpkin, calabaza, were common among many of the native cultures in South America and the Caribbean. The Tainos called their island home Boricuan, which means land of the brave Lord. They were a peaceful people who survived by hunting fish in the rich tropical forest and planting their own fields. Their houses, called bohíos, were made of wood and cane roofed with straw. The Taino chief was called the cacique, and it was he who told the myths and legends during the Toa ceremonies. After Columbus landed his ships in the island shores in 1493, the Spaniards conquered Boricuan. The Tainos were enslaved. The Tainos fought back. Most of them allegedly died. Despite the destruction of their people, many words in Puerto Rico today come from the Taino language. Taino foods are still cooked, Taino instruments are still played, and Puerto Ricans still proudly call their island Boricuan, in honor of the Taino heritage that is such an important part of their history and culture. $2 Carmen, ¿cómo se formó la bella isla la Boricuan en presencia tiene Cambridge MA National Assessment of Dissemination Center Leslie College, 1979. Okay, that is the end of our story today. I hope that all the children watching this story time, including my 4 amazing sons, enjoyed today's story about Boricua, Puertorriqueña, and the Tainos of their traditional culture, which is not only the tradition of the Puerto Ricans, but also of the South Americans, this traditional story. So that is definitely part of the Indigenous heritage and the stories that are some that we would love to pass down through the generations, like the mother in this story did for her daughter. I choose to do for my sons as well. So, as I always say, like Nieve Tigre always says, we'll see you in the next story time. The end of this story is a new beginning of our story. Hashtag Golden Age. Hashtag Ancient Future. Thank you for watching Indigenous Children's Storytime and watching all of our videos. Thank you. Be sure to check out I Am Every Good Thing. See you in our next story time. And be sure to remember, Mother Talisa loves you. If you liked this story time, be sure to watch The Spotted Jaguar now. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next story time. Be sure to hit the like button before you leave. And if you'd like to watch another story time, watch this next and make sure you subscribe. Tap the notification bell and make sure you hit the all so you can be notified whenever we have a new video.